Hey everyone, welcome back to the Chefpreneur podcast. I'm Andres and Jose. Hey, today we're going to talk about how you can get paid for value and how you actually don't get paid for time. Now, this is really important because many of you out there that have started a personal chef business or are looking to start one, a lot of times we make this notion that we're getting paid for our time, we're getting paid for our service. And although those things are true, it takes time to deliver value. Value is the number one thing that you're getting paid for. And so if you're not providing value to your clients, guess what? They're not going to pay you what you're worth. They're not going to want to pay you. They're not going to want to hire you. They're not going to really even want you to deliver an experience to them. And you'll basically be a commodity. I've seen this many, many times with the hundreds of students that I've coached. And so I'm going to break down a couple of ways that you can add value to your services. Again, whether you started a personal chef business or not, if you actually take a hold of what I'm going to be teaching you guys today, I think it's really going to just change the game for you and change your business. So I'm going to give you three main ways, all right, to add value to your clients. Because again, I really can't stress this enough. Many of you are thinking that, well, I cook really good food. I know how to cook, right? I've been cooking for a long time. And doesn't my time and my experience count for something? Well, it does, as long as you can transfer that experience into value. Okay, so again, I really can't stress that enough. 80% of the entire experience is the experience. It's not the food at all. 20% is the food of your service. And so I'm going to teach you how to get, if you feel like, that you're kind of more relying upon your cooking ability and your food, and there's a reason why they're not paying you what you're worth, and you're not able to charge the prices that some other personal chefs that you've seen charge, right? $100, $150, even $200 a person, you got to add more value, right? And I'm gonna teach you again three ways to add more value. So number one, you have to have dialed in systems in your business. Now, why are systems a value add? Think about it this way. If you go to a fast food restaurant, we've all been to some fast food restaurant in our life. I'm sure we have, right? I don't care if it's Taco Bell, Wendy's, McDonald's, it doesn't matter. Process makes it easier for you to order and get exactly what you need. Now, we know, just using that analogy, right, that honestly, probably most people, I would hope, listening to this podcast can actually create a better hamburger than McDonald's, okay, as far as flavor goes. But the reason why they win and the reason why it's really, really easy for you to order them is they have dialed in processes. And that is an experience. People don't realize that there's value there. Again, people are going through fast food drive-thrus to get something quick. They want to get something fast. They want to be on their way back to work. That's adding value to them. That not only just the speed, okay, not only the speed, but again, the process of what to do it, right? There's a specific process that everyone knows. You drive up, you order your food, you get your food, you leave. All right. And so in your business, you need to have processes. You need to have a process for selling, process for booking. You need to have a process for even when you do a cook day or an event. Things have to be in level of process and order. If you're in chaos, it's really, really hard for expectations to happen with your client. And I'll say this many, many times. This has happened many times in my business where clients will literally hire us, of course, without tasting our food, but they'll say, man, your process was so easy to book your services. I booked a call. You called me at the time that, that you said you were going to call me. You went through a very specific series of questions that you asked me on the phone to get all the information about my event to then set me up for success. And I booked you. Why? Because it was easy for them and we had processes. So that's the first way you can add value. The second way you can add value is you really have to understand that as a personal chef, you have a very different dynamic than a restaurant, right? A restaurant, you don't usually get to see the chef. Yeah, there's open kitchens and things like that. The chef can come visit your table. And why is that so important? If you've ever been in a restaurant where a chef visits your table, well, it makes you feel special, right? It makes you feel special. So I want to let you guys really understand that delivering an experience from the heart is what I say is adding a lot of value. And you might say, this sounds like quacky stuff, chef, like delivering a service from the heart. Like we're all doing this from the heart. I'm dedicated. I'm passionate about what I do. Yeah. But you have to understand how to look at it from their perspective, from your client's perspective, and ask yourself, if I was them, what would I want to happen to me? One of the ways that I add value in my business when I go to a client's home is I'm just very respectful to their entire property, whether it's people that are working in their home, right? If it's someone who has a lot of money, it could be as simple as asking, do I take off my shoes when you walk into their house, right? these little details, you're valuing them and you're valuing who they are from your heart. You're not doing it in a fake way. You're not coming in with this pride, like, oh, I'm this big bad chef. I'm here, like, get everything out of my way. You have to understand that you're going into someone's home and cooking for them. And a huge way to add value, again, is doing things from the heart, always serving them from the heart. What would I want if that was my mom, my dad, my family member, right? You have to understand that these things add immense value. All right. And this is the thing that ties into number 3 about adding value, or really, it's not really a technique, but it's something I want you to understand. Okay. Number 3, people's perception of reality is their reality. Now you might say, like, this, what does it have to do with value? What does this have to do with value, chef? Here's the deal. If they really truly believe you can get them to the finish line, that you can give them a great experience, that's their reality. If you do not convince them enough through your processes, through your heart and your servitude, that you're actually going to deliver on what you promised, they're not going to hire you. And they're not going to pay you for what you're worth. They're going to look at you again as commodity. Like, well, it's it was an okay service, but it was cheap. They didn't expect very much. And so I always say that their perception of reality is their actual reality. So again, you have to understand that when you're adding value, it's not just about your cooking. It's not just about adding value when you show up to their home. It starts long before that. It starts on your website. It starts on your Facebook. It starts on your Instagram page, right? You're adding value to them. If you're not speaking to them in what they're looking for, you're not adding value, right? You're just another chef. You're just another personal chef. I know that that's really hard for somebody to hear, because you're thinking, like, you don't understand. I have 30 years experience. Or maybe you're listening to this and you have zero experience and you're scared on the opposite route. Like, oh my gosh, how do I provide value? I don't have cooking skills. Like my cooking skills, I know I cook good food, but I'm not some, 5-star chef. I haven't been in the industry for 5 years. Well, think about it this way. Like, these are the ways that you can add value. And you have to understand, again, 20% of it is the food. 80% is the rest of the experience. Let me give you an example. I just want to bring this home and kind of try to bring all 3 of these points home with one story that would legitimately happen in my business. So about 3.5 years ago, I remember this story. In fact, she's one of our clients still to this day. When I got a call from a lady, and she was looking for us to do a bachelorette party for about 10 people. I went through my exact process that I teach all my students to go through, right? I have our process, our sales process, right? So she saw our website, spoke to her. She booked a call. I called her at the exact time I said I was going to call her. I asked her these series of questions, right? Went through my process. And by the end of it, she's like, man, this sounds amazing. Like I think we're going to hire you. Well, she went back to the group of ladies, right? Because again, it was a bachelorette party. And one of the ladies already booked another chef. So what happened? Well, she ended up calling me, hey, Chef Andres, like, I really wanted to book you, but actually we're going a different direction. One of the other ladies hired another chef. I'm so sorry, but I'll definitely keep your name for the future. Well, here's the experience that I provide. I said, absolutely no problem. Like, we'll be here whenever you're ready to book us again. We hope that XYZ has an amazing bachelorette party, and we wish her the best of luck on her new with her new husband, and all, hopefully they have lifelong love and happiness, right? So I was letting her know that. She's like, man, this is such an amazing process. Well, about a month later, I get a call, same process, or actually we get an inquiry on our website, same process. I give them a call, and this lady was like, well, I said, well, how'd you find out about us? And she's like, well, actually, my daughter reached out to you around a month ago wanting to book your services. And she ended up going with another chef. She was doing something for her friend for a bachelorette party. I said, oh, I remember her. And we started talking about it. And she says, yeah. I said, oh, well, thank you for reaching out. But did she not have good service with the other chef? And she's like, no. She said it was a horrible experience. The chef showed up. He was a mess. Things were all over the place. It was disorganized. He wasn't personal at all. There was things going on. And I told her, I said, wow, well, thank you. And she goes, the reason why she wanted me to go with you, even though she didn't try your food, and obviously we haven't tried your services, was it was so easy to book it. It was so easy to talk to you. You made things very easy to hire you for your services. I said, well, thank you. Well, long story short, she ended up booking us for 7 people. It was like a 4 or 5 course lunch, if I remember. 17,000 square foot house when we pulled up. And literally 3 weeks after that, she spent over $10,000 with us on another event for her son's engagement party, where we're doing pizzas and sliders and really basic food. So although I lost a client up front, previously with her daughter, I didn't get the 10-person bachelorette party. Here comes her mom off of just my process and adding value to them. See, they believe they can trust me. And they're like, hey, if we could trust him with calling us on time and going through a process and feeling like it's easy to book him, there's no reason to believe that he's not going to produce good food or give us a great experience, right? So you guys have to understand there's a lot more value in than just your food, right? And who you are and your experience. In fact, nobody ever asked me my experience. Nobody ever asked me for a resume when they book my services. They just want to know, are you going to be able to take them to the promised land and give them the experience that you're promising them through your website and what you say on the phone? So I hope this added value to you guys and understanding that you're not out there spending just time, your resources, your experience. That's actually not how you earn as a personal chef. You earn more when you provide more value. Hey, thanks again, guys, for being here and listening to this podcast. I love hopping on with you guys. And hope to see you guys next week. Stay tuned. We're going to have some great things coming up for you. God bless. Talk to you soon.